This tool insemination eligibility period, semen selection, and replacement balance evaluates the economics of different reproductive management strategies on a dairy farm. It was developed by Megan Lauber, Dr. Paul Fricke, and Dr. Victor Cabrera at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and accompanies their 2026 paper in the Journal of Dairy Science. 3 things vary: the herd's 21-day pregnancy rate, the semen used, and the insemination eligibility period, how long after the voluntary waiting period cows remain eligible for insemination. The tool identifies which combination produces the highest net return while still generating enough replacement heifers to hold herd size constant. Those two goals compete, and resolving that tension is what the model is for. 3 controls at the top right apply everywhere. The scenario dropdown selects the semen strategy. Conventional uses conventional semen throughout, while sexed plus beef uses sexed semen for first and second lactation cows at months in milk 3 and 4, and beef semen for everything else. For this video, we will stay on the conventional semen dropdown, but the same principles of this video apply to the sexed plus beef choice. Reset to defaults restores the scenario's original values, and download summary exports the current results. The Overview tab documents the model. It advances 1 month at a time, with cows aging, being replaced, dying, becoming pregnant, losing pregnancies, calving, or starting a new lactation. Any cow leaving the herd is replaced the following month, so herd size stays constant, and the model iterates until the proportion of cows in each state stops changing. The reproductive program assumes a 70-day voluntary waiting period, so first insemination occurs at month in milk 3, under a double OV-sync protocol giving a 100% service rate at month 3 and 65% afterward. The eligibility period ranges from 50 days, or about 2 inseminations, to 260 days, or about 9. The Economics tab holds the economic and herd level parameters. Yellow cells are editable, everything else is calculated. They fall into 3 groups: herd and milk production, covering herd size, body weight, feed price, milk fat, and milk price. Replacement and calf market values, covering heifer rearing cost and separate prices for heifer, dairy bull, and beef cross calves. And reproduction, culling, and salvage, covering months milking during pregnancy, pregnant cull rate, cull milk threshold, mortality rate, and salvage value. Weighted calf price is calculated rather than entered. It blends the 3 calf prices by the proportions the current scenario produces. The Milk tab controls production using the MilkBot lactation curve, with 4 fitted parameters for each of 3 lactation groups. The defaults come from U.S. Holstein cows milked 3 times daily in 2016. To use your own, download the curve template, enter your DHI test day records in the yellow cells, and upload it back. The tool fits the curve and updates all 3 groups at once. The live chart plots yield against days in milk, and hovering reports values at any point. It shows first lactation cows peaking lower but holding production longer than mature cows. Below it, the pregnancy multiplier reduces yield as gestation advances, unaffected through month 4, tapering to 85% by month 7, and 0 in months 8 and 9 when cows are dry. The Repro tab sets the reproductive program and is where the eligibility period is chosen. The leftmost column holds eligibility checkboxes, 1 per month in milk. The selection is a continuous block rather than scattered months. And a summary above reports the current setting in both months and days. Months 3 through 4 is 50 days, through month 6 is 110, through month 8 is 170, through month 11 is 260. The remaining columns hold pregnancy rate and reproductive management cost for every lactation and month. The defaults reflect the double OV-sync program, higher rates and higher cost at month 3, dropping from month 4 onward with the lower service rate, and 0 in months 1 and 2 because of the waiting period. A toggle above the table lets you enter pregnancy rate on the model's native monthly basis or as the more familiar 21-day rate. The Pregnancy Loss tab holds the percentage of pregnancies lost in each month of gestation by lactation group. The default pattern is concentrated early, peaking at 3.5% in the second month and tapering to almost nothing by month 7. The Cull tab sets the voluntary culling rate, the monthly percentage of open cows removed, by month in milk and lactation. The defaults rise in both directions, since open cows are culled more readily the longer they stay open and the older they get. This is the voluntary rate only. Total turnover also includes mortality and cows culled after a completed lactation, and is reported on the Results tab. The Import and Export tab lets you edit the model's 200+ values outside the browser. Download Parameters produces a workbook containing every editable value from every tab. Upload it back and the tool validates it before applying anything. A reset option reloads the current scenario's defaults. The Results tab runs the model. Click Run Model and a status line reports convergence, typically around 900 iterations in under a second. 5 cards give the outcome in dollars per cow per year. Net return of about $1,436 on the default conventional herd, built from income over feed cost, culling, reproductive cost, and calf income. The totals table repeats those figures per herd per day, per herd per month, and per cow per year. Note that the per cow figures are independent of herd size. Doubling the herd changes the totals but not the economics per animal. Below, bars show the steady-state herd structure, falling off sharply from about 316 cows in first lactation to single digits by lactation 9, beside a pie chart splitting the herd into pregnant or dry, open, and do not breed. The per lactation state matrix at the bottom is the state space the model actually operates on. Rows are month in milk, columns are month of pregnancy, and the right-hand columns give cold cows and the economic contribution of each state. Scrolling down, we see this matrix for all 9 lactations. Quickly scrolling back up to the cards and switching from conventional to sex plus beef, this returns about $1,510 per cow per year against $1,436 for conventional, an advantage driven almost entirely by calf income. The Inventory tab converts that herd into calf and heifer flows, the replacement side of the balance. The Assumptions table gives the heifer and bull calf split, stillbirth rate, and heifer completion rate. 3 cards report total calf value, live heifers produced, and completed heifers. The table below traces the full flow, starting with needed heifers, the number required to hold herd size constant, then working through calves produced by heifers and cows, stillbirths, and live calves. The comparison that matters is between needed heifers at the top and live heifer calves below. If live calves fall short, the eligibility period cannot sustain the herd regardless of how good its net return looks. Next we go to the Varied IEP tab. The Varied IEP tab reproduces the full scenario analysis from the paper. Click Run IEP Analysis and the tool completes 280 model runs in anywhere from 12 to 24 seconds, with an approximate of 18 seconds. Clicking it runs 5 pregnancy rate levels from 20 to 40% across all 8 eligibility periods for both semen strategies, plus a calf price sensitivity. Results are grouped into collapsible sections, conventional on the left and sex plus beef on the right. The first shows the 3 cost components. Extending the eligibility period raises reproductive cost but lowers replacement cost and raises calf income because fewer cows are cold open. The second shows income over feed cost and net return, where those effects resolve and the peak identifies the optimal eligibility period. The third shows replacements and turnover, the feasibility check. The fourth reproduces the paper's figure on net return across beef cross-calf prices. The last holds the detailed results table, and its difference column carries the central finding. At an average pregnancy rate and a short 80-day eligibility period, sex plus beef returns slightly less than conventional semen, but at 140 days it gains about $48 per cow per year, and at 260 days nearly $75. The strategy needs a long enough eligibility period to produce replacements before its calf value advantage appears. The Varied 21 DPR tab isolates the value of improving the pregnancy rate itself. It raises the herd rate from 20 to 40% in 1-point increments, holding the eligibility period at 170 days, and plots the change in annual net return against the 20% baseline. Moving from 20 to 30% is worth roughly $55 per cow per year under conventional semen and $63 under sexed and beef. Reaching 40% is worth about $94 and $101. The returns are not linear, the first points deliver more than the last, so the case for reproductive improvement is strongest in herds furthest behind. The model is documented in full in an economic simulation model to assess the effect of the 21-day pregnancy rate, semen type, and heifer survival rate on the optimal insemination eligibility period for lactating dairy cows, published in the Journal of Dairy Science in 2026, Volume 109, pages 452 to 468. The tool is available at dairymgt.cals.wisc.edu under the Tools page.